Sorry, Prabhu. Sorry, devotees. Couldn't join for the last 2 days. Slept a little early because of jet lag. Um, so, do you want me to speak from 7th chapter or 8th chapter? But let me know what you want me to serve. I think we.
Jai Krishna Prabhu. Devotees requested to have from 7th chapter itself, Prabhu.
Okay. So, 7th chapter, I know we talked until in 12th chapter, right? 12th verse we completed already. And try to maybe or from 13th. Okay. 13th to 30th. Okay. Okay. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैः येभिः सर्वविधं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्यः परमव्ययम्. So Krishna in 7th chapter is talking about how surrender is compulsory. Surrender is compulsory in the sense the nature of knowledge is that it compels us to take action. Knowledge is that which touches the heart. Touches the heart means where there is relationability. What do I call relationability? Like, like say we know we are going to die. So this is sounds like an external information. Okay. Now, when there is knowledge, one actually understands that that very same body that one is inhabiting will be subject to death eventually as a phenomenon. So one is an information where okay, we'll all die. There is no relationability in that type of the type of an information. There is no connection. But when there is knowledge, one understands the nature of the body that I am inhabiting, and this situation is about to happen to me, that relationability happens. That's what is knowledge. So, when this is, of course, elementary knowledge, when this knowledge evolves, then one comes to the point of seeing surrender as the indispensable or action that cannot be escaped at any point of time. It's just what that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense. Everything except surrender does not make sense. And when we come to this point where we realize that everything except surrender does not make sense, at that point we surrender. And as long as we nurture the idea, as long as I preserve the idea through my romance with illusion in its various forms, even a minute idea that there exists an occupation, there exists an endeavor that is outside of surrender, then naturally I will revel in that endeavor. This is something that's very, what do you say? It's common sense, right? So, what Krishna is saying here is that why do people not surrender to me? Because Krishna says they don't know me. So they don't know someone. So if you can't surrender to someone, if you don't love them, and if you don't love them if you don't know them. So you know someone, when you know someone, you love them. When you love someone, you surrender to them, right? So this naturally happens. So Krishna is saying, Tribhir Gunamayehi Bhavehi. Because of being bewildered by the three modes of nature, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamoguna, Ebihi Sarvam Idam Jagat. This whole world is under its spell. I turn my face away from the sun, and I don't see the sun, but I see my shadow. I see my shadow. Similarly, in this material world, is Naneva Bhati Vishwatma. Nana. We see many things that appear of value. Hmm? So Prabhupada is saying the whole world is enchanted by the three modes. So because of this enchantment, uh, just like when someone is hypnotized, right? He kind of doesn't see anything, any reality. So similarly, a person who is enchanted by these modes, who's enchanted, sarvam idam jagat, mohitam, he becomes bewildered, and he thinks that there is something in this world separate from me. And he sees only Maya. So Krishna's got multiple manifestations. So one manifestation of Krishna is through his material energy. And through the material energy of Krishna as manifestation, that bewilders. Okay. So every manifestation of Krishna reveals some aspect of Krishna. So the revelation of Krishna through his Maya reveals his bewildering potency. Okay? And revelation of Krishna, even through his bewildering potency, happens more through the Rajas and Tamoguna. So Tamoguna covers, Rajoguna distorts, Sattvaguna enlightens. So, so you become an atheist when you are covered by Tamoguna. You become an agnostic when you are covered by Rajoguna. You become a person who believes in the impersonal, not believes, who experiences the impersonal form of the Lord, impersonal understanding of the absolute truth when you are captivated by the transcendent truth. It is the same entity. The same entity is seen as non-existence by the atheist in the mode of ignorance. The same entity is seen as doubt because you are seeing something. So, an atheist, what does he see? He sees non-existence of the Lord everywhere. So he's constantly saying, there is no God, there is no God, there is no God, because that's what he sees. And whatever he sees actually is the Lord himself. But that Lord himself is coming in the form of Tamoguna. And because he's seeing that very same Lord in the form of Tamoguna, he sees non existence. That is actually the feature of the Lord. Okay? But that is not the real Swabhava of the Lord. That is the Lord in the form of his material potency. And the same person, he sees the Lord in the form of doubt. He's constantly doubtful whether there is God. Everyone in this world, 70, 80, 90% are in the form, they're always doubtful. They do not know where to surrender, what to do, which action is due, which part of them are actually true. Am I the atheist self? Am I the theist self? Am I Krishna conscious? Do I like material life? Do I like corporate world? Do I like quitting corporate world? Do I like being a housewife or do I like being whatever? What do I like? I like village life or I like corporate life. I like US life. I like India life. I like children. I don't like children. I like so many doubts we have. We can't stick to one person throughout our whole day. Right? Choose one personality and stick through the whole day. Try if this is possible. You can't. Because we are seeing Krishna in the form of doubt. Because they are captivated by the mode of passion. And those people who see the same truth through the whole day, they are captivated by, they are actually blessed. They're seeing Krishna in the form of oneness. The single principle, they don't see even Krishna, they see Krishna as one principle that is constantly existing beyond the vacillations of the modes of material nature. So this person who's in Tamoguna also seeing Krishna only. The person is in Rajoguna, he's also seeing Krishna. The person in Sattvaguna is also seeing Krishna. But none of them are identifying that this is Krishna. Because of them being contaminated by different modes, they see different facets of Krishna, but they are not able to identify it as Krishna. But one person has understood Krishna who is beyond the modes. Harihi nirgunaha sakshat prakritehe purusha paraha sarvadar upadrashtatam bhajan nirguno bhavet. So a person who is identifying Krishna is a devotee. Bhaktyamam vijanati, bhaktyamam vijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvataha. So he knows Krishna tatvataha because he is situated beyond the modes. He can see Krishna as he is because he is beyond the modes. So he is the person seeing Krishna svabhavikaha jnana bharakriya. He can see Krishna as he is beyond the vacillations of the modes. Everyone else is also seeing Krishna only because Mayatmidam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina. You have to see Krishna because there is nothing else except his energies, which is spread even. Parasya, what is it? Parasya Brahmana Shakti. So Parasya Brahmana Shakti, Akilam Idam Jagat. So this everything is Parasya Brahmana Shakti. It is his own Shakti that is manifested. So compulsorily, and the Shakti that is emanating from the Absolute is not different from it. That is the nature of Absolute. Whatever is emanating from the relative is different from the relative. Just like I emanated from my my mother, I'm different from my mother. This is the relative truth. But the absolute truth is that whatever emanates from the absolute is also non-different from the absolute truth. This is the difference between absolute and relative. Just like Prabhupada says, there is the holy name that comes from Krishna. It is not different from Krishna. It is not that the holy name is different from Krishna. Because it is absolute, whatever comes of the absolute is non-different from the absolute, qualitatively. But out of the pleasure potency, there also is the potency to be different from the absolute truth for the vibhinamshas in order for it to enjoy a loving relationship with the transcendent absolute truth. So we are of the nature of vibhinamsha, meant to give pleasure to the transcendent absolute truth, who goes by the name Krishna, because he's all attractive, because the absolute truth is all attractive. The best name to give to that absolute truth is Krishna. So, to summarize, everyone is seeing Krishna, but none of the persons who actually see Krishna are able to identify him as such, except the devotees, because they are the ones who are situated above all the three modes. Okay, so I'll stop here. Any questions or comments are welcome. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.